the sparkling Christmas lights around the world. Once upon a time, in the city of Tokyo, there was a little panda named Koji. His passion was to admire the beautiful Christmas illuminations that invaded the city every year. The streets sparkled with thousands of lights, and the Japanese people enjoyed the festivities by tasting traditional sweets. Koji loved to take walks at night, amazed by the shimmering lights that illuminated the path in front of him. A little further away, in the city of Paris, lived Eloise the owl. She loved perching on the Eiffel Tower and gazing at the magnificent Christmas decorations that adorned the city. The Parisians gathered under the imposing illuminations to admire the shop windows and savor delicious hot crepes. Eloise felt privileged to be able to observe these magical scenes from her perch. As for Marco, the adventurous squirrel, he had settled in Sydney. This Australian city celebrated Christmas in the middle of summer, which didn't stop it from having a magical atmosphere. Marco could see kangaroos hopping under the fairy lights and hear the locals singing Christmas carols while cooling off on the sandy beaches. On the other side of the globe, in Rio de Janeiro, lived Lucia, the jaguar. This festive place was known for its carnival, but Christmas was also grandiose there. Lucia would sneak between the illuminated palm trees and watch the dancers sway to the rhythm of the samba, while the residents adorned the streets with their festive outfits. The Brazilian heat was enchanting, and Lucia was carried away by this joyful atmosphere. In Moscow, Igor, the polar bear, had found a warm home in a zoo. Despite the Siberian cold, the city sparkled with 1,000 stars. The Muscovites gathered on the Red Square and strolled through the Christmas markets, admiring the ice sculptures and the giant Christmas trees decorated with fairy lights. Igor loved rolling in the snow and watching the children play with their gifts. In the city of Nairobi lived Tamu, the giraffe. She was surrounded by lush nature, where baobabs adorned themselves with twinkling garlands. The inhabitants celebrated Christmas with traditional dances and folkloric stories by the campfires. Tamu loved stretching her long neck to admire the shimmering lights that reflected in the winding rivers of the savannah. Igor, the red panda, lived in the beautiful city of Bangkok in Thailand. During the Christmas period, the streets were invaded by colorful elephants, pulling carts decorated with flowers and lanterns. The residents would go to the temples to pray and pay tribute to their ancestors. Igor loved climbing on the rooftops of houses and admiring the lanterns giving way to their colors as night fell. In Buenos Aires, the city of tango, lived Carlos, the jaguar. He loved wandering the bustling streets of the Argentinian capital, where the dazzling decorations competed for elegance. The Argentinians celebrated Christmas with large family meals, accompanied by traditional dances and songs. Carlos adored blending in with the crowd and watching the joy emanating from every corner of the street. Lulu, the chatty parrot, had made his home in Rome. During the Christmas festivities, the streets scattered with Roman ruins would transform into a dazzling spectacle of colorful lights. Romans would gather around the famous Trevi fountain to toss coins and make wishes for the new year. Perched on a roof, Lulu would listen attentively, ready to repeat their wishes. In Cape Town lived Zola, the striped zebra. This South African city was a melting pot of cultures, and Christmas festivities were very diverse. Zola could see the township residents lighting bonfires and dancing around to celebrate the return of vacationers to their families. It was a spectacle filled with colours and energy that the zebra never grew tired of admiring. At Finn's, the playful penguin, the magic of Christmas unfolded in the city of Reykjavik, Iceland. Despite the cold climate, Icelanders gathered in natural hot springs to warm up and admire the northern lights illuminating the sky. The streets were adorned with candles and lanterns, transforming the city into a real snowy fairy tale. Finn loved diving into the icy water and swimming among the flickering lights. Finally, in New York, lived Rosie, the energetic fox. This city was famous for its immense Christmas trees, especially the one at Rockefeller Center. New Yorkers would gather to admire the lights that illuminated the skyscrapers, while Rosie would sneak between the legs of passers-by to snatch cookie crumbs. The atmosphere was electric, and Rosie didn't know where to wag her tail next, as there were so many things to see and do. Thus, these 12 animals lived in different cities, but they were united in the magic of Christmas. Each one could observe the unique traditions and decorations of their place of residence, and they all knew that this time of year was special. No matter where you are in the world, Christmas lights illuminate hearts and bring people together, creating a magical atmosphere that crosses borders and cultures.
The magic of Christmas illuminated by mischievous Chinese pandas. In the mountains of China, a mischievous group of pandas lived peacefully. They loved to have fun and play with each other. One day, as Christmas was rapidly approaching, the pandas had a great idea. They wanted to prepare a special Christmas surprise for all the inhabitants of the region. After careful consideration, they decided to decorate the Great Wall of China, which was not far from their habitat, with sparkling lights and glittering garlands. The pandas were excited about putting their plan into action. So they got up very early in the morning, long before sunrise, to start the preparations. Each one had a specific role. Some pandas climbed the trees to hang the decorations, while others installed the lights along the walls. As the day went on, the Great Wall transformed into a true spectacle of lights. The pandas looked at each other with pride, knowing that they had accomplished something extraordinary. They had managed to spread the magic of Christmas in these remote mountains and brought joy and wonder to everyone living in this region. The inhabitants, upon seeing the fully decorated wall, couldn't hide their surprise and happiness. The children ran with joy. The adults marveled at this grand spectacle. Everyone felt transported to another world, where the magic of Christmas reigned supreme. The pandas, upon seeing the effect of their work, decided to do even more. They prepared gifts for every resident of the area. They distributed these presents with joy, creating a feeling of love and sharing among all the inhabitants. The news of the Christmas surprise prepared by the pandas spread like wildfire. People from neighboring villages flocked to see with their own eyes this wonderful illuminated Great Wall. They were all amazed by the beauty of the show and by the effort of the pandas to bring them so much joy. The following days, the pandas continued to organize Christmas activities for the residents. There were songs, dances, and even puppet shows. The children laughed out loud, and the adults rediscovered their inner child. Time passed quickly, and soon Christmas Day arrived. The pandas had one last surprise in store for everyone. They organized a grand fireworks display that lit up the starry sky. Colors and shapes danced in the darkness, creating a magical and enchanting atmosphere. On this Christmas night, the pandas and the gathered inhabitants felt immense gratitude for the mischievous pandas who had brought so much joy and magic into their lives. They knew that this experience would be etched in their hearts forever. And so, in the mountains of China, the mischievous pandas had completed their mission to offer an unforgettable Christmas to all the inhabitants of the region.
Leah's Hidden Treasures, a giraffe on an adventure in South America. Once upon a time, there was a giraffe named Leah, who had grown up in the African savannah. She was curious and adventurous by nature, dreaming of exploring the world beyond her homeland. One day, Leah decided to embark on a grand adventure, journeying through South America in search of cultural treasures. Leah's first stop brought her to Easter Island. She was fascinated by the enormous stone statues, called moai, which appeared to have been overlooking the island for centuries. Leah wondered what mystery lay behind these stone giants, and she decided to explore the surroundings to find some clues. After her adventure on Easter Island, Leah headed towards the peaks of the Peruvian Andes. She was amazed by the majestic beauty of the mountains, and she climbed with agility to reach new summits. Up there, she discovered the ruins of Machu Picchu, an ancient Inca city lost in the heights. She wandered for hours, marveling at the ingenuity of the Inca builders. Peru had so much to offer Leah. She visited Lake Titicaca, the highest navigable lake in the world. She met local fishermen who told her ancestral legends about the lake spirits. Leah then decided to spend time on the shore of the lake, contemplating the peaceful beauty of the sparkling waters. The next country on Leah's list was Argentina. She went to the vibrant capital, Buenos Aires. She was amazed by the passion of tango in the bustling streets of the city. She danced with the locals, getting carried away by the energy and enchanting music of Argentine tango. Leah felt alive, having fun and discovering a new facet of South American culture. After her adventure in bustling big cities, Leah needed a break. She headed towards Ushuaia in Tierra del Fuego, where nature was soothing and rejuvenating. She walked through lush forests and discovered unique animals like penguins and sea otters. Leah felt at peace in this preserved natural environment. The last country Leah visited was Brazil. She was taken away by the rhythmic passion of samba in Rio de Janeiro. She joined groups of samba dancers and moved her hips to the sound of drums. Leah felt fully alive, carried away by the contagious energy of Brazilian dance. After exploring these different countries in South America, Leah realized the cultural and natural richness of this region of the world. She decided to go back home to Africa, but she took with her unforgettable memories and a broadened perspective on the world. Back in Africa, Leah shared her adventures with her friends, the animals of the savannah. She told them about the legends of Easter Island, the ingenuity of the Incas, the vibrant energy of Argentina, the calming peace of Ushuaia, and the rhythmic passion of Brazil. Her friends were delighted to hear her stories, and they realized that the world was a wonderful place, filled with adventures and treasures to discover. Leah had fulfilled her dream by exploring South America. She now understood that adventure could be found not only in distant countries, but also in a heart open to discovery and wonder. And so, Leah and her animal friends continued to dream of new adventures, ready to explore the world around them with curiosity and joy.
The enchanting celebration of mischievous llamas, a magical Christmas in the snowy valley. In a snowy valley nestled in the heart of the mountains lived a tribe of mischievous llamas. They were known for their playful nature and love for pranks. Every year, as Christmas approached, the llamas could feel the excitement building within them. They knew it was the perfect opportunity to throw an epic party filled with laughter, gifts, and joy. The preparations started long before the big day. The llamas gathered around a giant cactus, a symbol of the valley, to decide on the decoration of the place. They carried colorful garlands, shiny balls, and twinkling stars. The cacti gradually transformed into enchanted Christmas trees. All the llamas were getting involved, each bringing their personal touch to the decoration. Some showed great skill in placing the garlands with precision, while others engaged in artificial snow cascades. One thing was for sure: they were all having a great time. Meanwhile, other llamas spent hours making gifts for their friends in the valley. They knitted cozy woolen sweaters, made colorful socks, and crafted warm scarves. Each gift was unique and made with love. The day of the celebration finally arrived. The llamas gathered near the sparkling Christmas tree, eager to begin the festivities. The first guests were the sheep from the neighboring farm, arriving bleating with joy. The llamas welcomed them by offering gifts, while the sheep leaped about in delight. Gradually, other animals from the valley joined the party: the cunning foxes, the mischievous squirrels, and even the hooting owls. All were enchanted by the magical atmosphere that prevailed. The llamas entertained them with magic tricks, lively dances, and joyful songs. As the night fell on the snowy valley, the llamas lit lanterns and spread their overflowing energy. Laughter echoed in the crisp air, while the shimmering cacti sparkled brightly. Everyone felt happy and fulfilled. Suddenly, a llama named Lucas had an idea. He walked towards the center of the party and announced that he had a hidden talent for spreading holiday cheer. Everyone turned towards him, curious. Lucas took a small bamboo flute and started playing a sweet Christmas melody. Upon hearing this enchanting music, the animals of the valley began to dance with infinite grace. The llamas and foxes twirled lightly, squirrels leapt from branch to branch, and owls hooted in rhythm. It was a magical spectacle that conveyed the joy of the festivities to everyone. The night passed quickly, and the stars shone more and more brightly. The llamas had a memorable evening filled with laughter, encounters, and precious moments. They promised to repeat this epic celebration every year to celebrate the magic of Christmas and share their love for life. And so every year in the snowy valley, the mischievous llamas gathered together for an epic Christmas party. The cacti sparkled with colorful garlands, the gifts wrapped in cozy wool were distributed joyfully, and laughter filled the fresh air. The llamas revealed their hidden talent for spreading holiday cheer and turned this celebration into a magical adventure for all who participated.
The epic journey of Remy the reindeer in search of Santa Claus. Once upon a time, in a peaceful reindeer country, there was a young reindeer named Remy. He dreamt of reaching the North Pole and meeting Santa Claus. One day, Remy decided to embark on an adventure and find his way to Santa Claus. With his courage in tow, he set off on his journey. Unfortunately, Remy quickly got lost in the bustling streets of Paris. The sparkling lights and enticing smells of Parisian pastries distracted him. He even found himself caught in the crowd in front of the Eiffel Tower. Despite being taken aback, Remy refused to give up and continued his quest. He then arrived in London, where he was fascinated by the red double-decker buses and telephone booths. He went to the famous Buckingham Palace, but he couldn't find the way to the North Pole. Remy realized then that he would still have to travel a lot. His next destination was Barcelona. As he admired the unique architecture of the Sagrada Familia, he came across a friendly group of flamingos who showed him the way. With their guidance, Remy took a plane to New York. In the Big Apple, Remy met a magnificent Statue of Liberty who advised him to go to the Taj Mahal in India. He found some local reindeer who told him exciting stories about Santa Claus and the Arctic. Remy was determined to find his way back home. He set off for the Great Wall of China. He climbed, with difficulty but perseverance, each step of this historic monument. But despite its immense size, the wall did not show him the way. The snow and cold intensified, and Remy didn't know what to do anymore. One morning, while he was lost in the vast, icy plains of the Arctic, he spotted a shimmering glow in the distance. Intrigued, Remy decided to follow this glow, and it led him straight to Santa Claus's house. The house was warm and noisy, filled with busy elves and reindeer getting ready for the big Christmas Eve. Remy was relieved to have finally found his way, but he was also delighted to discover that he had a new home where he was welcomed. Santa Claus, touched by Remy's epic journey, told him that he could stay and become one of the reindeer harnessed to his sleigh. Remy was overjoyed. He made new friends among the other reindeer and was thrilled to help Santa Claus bring magic to all the children in the world. From now on, Remy accompanied Santa Claus on his rounds. Together, they traveled through the starry sky on Christmas night, bringing gifts and love to all those who deserved it. Remy had found his place and his family, and he knew that, thanks to his perseverance, his dream had come true. And that's how Remy the reindeer, once lost, found his way to Santa's house, where he was happy and surrounded by love. What a beautiful story of courage, adventure, and discovery. The end.
The Mystery of the Christmas Ballet Magical Adventure in Paris. In the heart of the winter wonderland during Christmas, Caramel the cat woke up with a strange excitement. He could sense the magic of the holiday season in the air. As he hopped around in the fresh snow, he discovered with surprise that the Christmas bauble, carefully kept by his family for generations, had mysteriously vanished from its usual hiding spot. Intrigued and determined to find this precious ball, Caramel decided to embark on an enchanted quest through the illuminated streets of Paris. As he walked cautiously, he noticed the sparkling garlands, the magical Christmas ornaments hanging from the trees, and the shimmering stars in the nocturnal sky. As Caramel explored the city, he encountered magical characters who were ready to help him in his quest. The first one was a little fairy named Étoile, who gave him advice on which direction to take. Then came a mischievous sprite named Farfadet, who taught him a few spells to make his task easier. Caramel, accompanied by his new magical friends, wandered the streets of Paris, questioning each of the inhabitants and visiting all possible and imaginable places. He went to the Eiffel Tower, to Notre Dame Cathedral, and even along the Seine, hoping to find a clue about the lost Christmas ball. But despite their efforts, the mystery remained unsolved. As Caramel was beginning to lose hope, he encountered the real Santa Claus. With gleaming eyes of joy, Santa promised to help Caramel and his friends in their quest. Using his special Christmas magic, he showed them a vision of the lost Christmas ball that had been taken by a playful and mischievous squirrel. Inspired by this revelation, Caramel and his companions set off in search for the mischievous squirrel. They finally found him in a park, playing with the Christmas ball in the branches of a tall fir tree. With the help of Farfadet, Caramel managed to convince the squirrel to return the ball in exchange for the precious gold star he was keeping. Glad to have found the Christmas ball, Caramel and his friends rushed back to their house, racing with the gently falling snowflakes from the sky. Upon arriving home, they lovingly decorated the Christmas tree, making the Christmas ball even more special this year. Christmas night finally arrived, and Caramel savored every moment surrounded by his family and friends. The Christmas ball proudly sat on top of the tree, radiating with all its bright and sparkling colors. It was a constant reminder of the extraordinary adventure they had shared together, filled with magic, friendship, and the Christmas spirit. Since that day, Caramel, Étoile, Farfadet, and even the mischievous squirrel became best friends. Every year, they gather to celebrate Christmas and narrate to the new arrivals the story of the enchanted quest that led to the recovery of the lost Christmas ball. And thus, the magic of this adventure continues to be passed down through generations. Merry Christmas to all.
The magical journey of the gingerbread man in search of the Christmas magic. Once upon a time, in a small bakery in the heart of a village, there lived a gingerbread man who was fed up with his everyday life. He had always dreamed of experiencing extraordinary adventures and uncovering the secrets of the world. One day he made up his mind to take control of his destiny and set off on a journey. His goal was to reach Lapland, where Santa Claus lived according to the legends. The little gingerbread man was filled with excitement and hope. Along his way, he met many friends, such as colorful candies and chocolates, who encouraged him to continue his journey. They told him that the magic of Christmas resided in generosity and warmth of the heart. This fueled his determination and made him even more eager to meet Santa Claus. He finally arrived in Lapland, just in time for the Christmas preparations. Santa's village was filled with joy and festivities. The elves were busy with the gifts, and the reindeer were getting ready for the grand journey. The gingerbread man walked among the gingerbread houses and was surprised to see how much generosity was present here. However, he did not find Santa Claus as easily as he had hoped. The villagers told him about a large forest where Santa Claus liked to rest before the big night. Determined, the gingerbread man ventured into it alone. Along his path, he was faced with various challenges. The snowflakes chilled him to the core, but he kept moving forward, comforting himself by remembering the words of his friends from the bakery. He met a sad snowman who told him that he would soon melt. So, the gingerbread man offered him a part of his own chocolate hat to keep him warm. After overcoming many obstacles, the gingerbread man finally arrived at the heart of the forest. There, he found a small cabin where Santa Claus was resting. He knocked on the door and was warmly welcomed by Santa Claus himself. Santa Claus listened attentively to the gingerbread man's story and was touched by his quest for the magic of Christmas. He decided to share with him the long sought-after secret. The magic of Christmas lies in kindness, generosity, and unconditional love, said Santa Claus. All it takes is to open one's heart and share with others to bring forth the magic. The gingerbread man then understood that the magic of Christmas was not solely about meeting Santa Claus, but that it was present everywhere around him throughout his journey. He realized that generosity and love were what made each moment of Christmas so special. Grateful for this life lesson, the gingerbread man spent a few days with Santa Claus, helping the elves and delivering gifts to children all around the world. Every smile and every burst of laughter filled him with joy. After living a marvelous adventure and discovering the secrets of Christmas magic, the gingerbread man decided to return home, carrying in his heart the warmth and generosity he had learned in Lapland. He returned to the bakery, but this time his life had changed. He became a symbol of generosity and kindness, teaching others what he had learned. Every year during Christmas time, he would tell his incredible adventure to the children of the village, reminding them that no matter where one is, the magic of Christmas always resides in the heart. And so, the story of the living gingerbread man was passed down from generation to generation, reminding everyone of the importance of generosity and warmth of the heart during Christmas time.